Alright, hello everyone. So this is my first stream. My name is Plankera, and I am a personification of the Big Bang. So my hope for my streams going forward is that not only will I be drawing some stuff, and hopefully that'll be fun to watch, but I also hope to see what everyone here makes too. So if you guys have any of your own art to show off, or would like to develop a game, show off any coding, have me read some of your writing, any of that kind of thing, I would absolutely love to do some of that. But for the time being, I will just draw some of my own stuff. And today, I want to draw a picture of Manticore from Arknights. So she'll always have a bit of a special place in my heart, because my husband and I play Arknights together, and Manticore is one of his favorite operators to use. He likes ambushers a lot in general, and she and Mizuki have carried us through many surprising situations. So, right now I'm just gonna scribble a little bit, kind of warm up my hand. I've always found that to be kind of useful. So I have a general idea of the kind of pose that I want to draw, and I'll go from there. I think I think I might want the canvas to be a little bit wider. Let's just give it a little bit more. Let's stretch this out. Just a solid color, so it doesn't matter if we stretch it. Alright. So I tend to just like to start with a few scribbles to kind of represent the head and body, get an idea of the pose. Let me shadow color. When I go to pick a shadow color, I generally just pick kind of a dark purple, set my brush to overlay, and then color a bit. Skin's a bit light, so let's try setting the brush to multiply and using a lighter color. Sometimes that works pretty well too. Like somewhere in the middle of what overlay and multiply gets me. So let's... Here. I always like to mix my colors on screen. I think it's fun. Maybe a little bit silly, but I like it. Somewhere around there. Might be a little bit too... Yeah. What's that color look? Might be a little bit too dark still. Just as a personal taste, I tend to like to use purple for shadows and yellow for highlights, because I like the kind of contrast that it gives. And I think it makes everything look pretty. Although it's not very, very realistic. Like, if I was going for realism, the colors of the shadows and highlights would depend on the lighting. That's fine. Just as a general rule, I tend to like the way purple shadows and yellow highlights look. getting some lag for some reason. Not sure why. It's gonna make it kind of hard to draw properly. Oh well, let's see what I can do. So just kind of getting an idea of the pose. It's mostly going to be the head. Let's actually just separate the... So a lot of the time I'll draw the head and the body together just to kind of get an idea of the pose and the how it's moving, the gesture as it's called. But here I have a general idea. I want to be kind of looking at the character from above. So you can see that her neck is going to be kind of like underneath her head here, kind of where I'm circling. And we'll bring up the shoulders. Everything just kind of starts kind of blobby. You might see me pause occasionally because I do occasionally go look at like reference material and stuff to make sure that I'm drawing everything the way I want it to be. Oh yeah, there we go. Looking very awkward. Exactly how I want it. Let's shape her head a little bit. So this is kind of where I have to decide which direction do I want the head to be turning. In my initial mental image, I was having it look directly at the viewer, but now I have to decide, is that how I want it to look? Or do I want it to, or do I want it to look off to the side? Or something like that. It's like, I think I want the eyes to be looking directly at the viewer. But everything else, I still have to decide. Okay. For now, we'll go front facing. And we'll just... You can see, if you look at my layer, it's over on the right here. I keep everything fairly small, but hopefully you can see it. I always make sure to name my layers, because it saves me a lot of grief later. And I abuse groups a lot. After making my own model like this, and really learning how to use groups after having to divide this thing up into 600 layers in order to rig it properly. I, got very good at using groups. And it's helped me organize my work a lot. I think it's also very important to, name your layers properly. It makes it so much easier to find where everything is later. Alright, so now I'm gonna do some color picking. You can't see my Manticore reference, but I just have her Elite 1 art up here, and I'm just picking some colors off of that. Getting her hair color right now because I like to base eyelash color off of hair color. I think it looks nice. So we're gonna look in her hair. Let's see, Manticore just has these big old pigtails. Floofy bangs. So we'll just do some floop in her bangs a little bit. Right now I'm not really concerned about making it look right. I just kind of want to get some basic ideas down. So we're gonna really floof out those pigtails. They're very fluffy. Those are definitely some fluffy pigtails. Let's kind of get in the back of her head a little bit here. And I don't think I'm bringing the hair down quite enough because I want her to be looking down. It's going to be looking cute and guilty. Yeah. That's good enough for now. It's not how I'm going to have it look, but it's recognizable as hair, and that's kind of what's important for the time being. That lag is really getting me. Alright. Well, I just kind of derp around with these pigtails. For anyone that happens to come in, have you, drawn anything recently? What kind of things do you guys like to draw? Let me know. Like I said, I would love to see what kind of things that you guys make, and what kind of things that you guys like to draw. So feel free to just @ me on Twitter. If you have anything you want to show off. Alright. So now we're going to pick some hair shadow colors, and this will be the basis for what I use for the eyelashes. Oh yeah, that's a nice color. Let's make it just a little touch darker. There we go. How's that? Yeah, that's pretty good. I might end up making these a little bit darker later, but... I'm gonna put her hair back in her face a little bit later, but right now I just want some room to draw her eyes. Okay, so looking at Manticore's art here, her eyes are flat at the top and flat at the bottom. They're actually very square, as opposed to super round for what you would expect from characters of her type. So let's do that. Probably make them a little bit rounder than they are in her art, just because I think that'll be cute. And this needs to be lower. Yeah, there we go. Because, yeah, she's kind of looking down. We're looking from above her. Everything kind of sized the way I want. I'm not really worried about making everything look good right now. Nothing really ever looks good at this stage. It's fine. I'm just kind of getting my ideas down. Alright, and now I'm going to grab her eye color, and they're kind of pink. Kind of a dark pink. When I draw fan art, I generally prefer to color pick over guess. Just because it gets more accurate colors. She's going to be looking up at us like this. Yeah, something kind of basic. Right now she looks kind of mad, but that's okay. I'll fix that later. We're just focusing on color balance and getting all the features I want down. I'm just gonna duplicate to get the other eye. Push them a little closer together. And right now we don't mind how tired or grumpy she looks. It's not important right now. I'll just keep that there. Alright. Let's give her some eyebrows. This having the eyebrows will help her expression and probably make her a little bit less grumpy. Make her look a bit more awkward like I want her to. Yeah, I kind of like that. I don't really care if these are symmetrical, so. Alright. Let's see, we'll just use shadow color for the mouth right now. Oh, that's not right. Mouth will help a lot with the expression too. I'm not sure if I want it to be an open mouth, kind of like this, or if I want it to be more of a pout. I'll leave it at a pout for now. I'll decide on the kind of expression later. That's going to be pretty important. But, I'm not quite sure yet. And it's fine. I don't have to make all these decisions right away. I can just get my general ideas down and then, move everything around as I see fit. So now I'm gonna draw the little wings on her head. Head wings. How did they come out of her head? They kind of come out from behind her front bangs. And then they go back a little bit, but not that much. Seems like they come out of her head like horns. I can probably just think of them as horns. Yeah. That means they probably come out of her forehead, so probably like somewhere around here. This might mean that I want to divide her bangs into another layer. Right now they're gonna go off the page. I might make everything a little bit bigger. This is fine for now. I'll get all the nuance of the colors in them a little bit later. Which way did they go? So you can see this is the kind of things that I'm thinking about when drawing fan art. I look very closely at the character. Let me see. Let me look at her sprite. Spaceship having some troubles. Okay, there we go. Okay. So it looks like they're mostly front-facing. That means it probably shape this just a little bit. Probably connects about here. And like I said, it's not going to look right yet because I don't have the hair drawn correctly. This is just putting some basic stuff down. And it's going to do something like this. It has that kind of little claw sticking out the side, right about here. It goes up here. They're just like little bat wings. From the claw, let's just use this color for now. Kinda does stuff like this. I think those are too small groupings, but yeah, it does stuff like that. The bottom one is like almost horizontal with the little claw. Like this. I go up like this. Up like this. So that's going to be how it goes there. And then it gets a little bit wider again at the bottom. It's really thin. And then a little bit wider. Okay. So that's probably a start. I think, fortunately, I want this part to be a little bit bigger and a little bit lower. This part is always... I'm not quite satisfied because it looks like it's going sideways. But that's okay. Just... I discovered how great Created Liquify tool is recently, and I've been abusing it to no end. It's wonderful. For those of you wanting to get into digital art, I highly recommend Krita. It's free, will always be free. It is open source, so you know exactly what you're getting, and it'll work on just any platform, even Linux. Okay. Like, I don't doubt that Clip Studio Paint is a great program, but Krita is too, and it is free. So we're getting pretty close on figuring out where all this stuff is going to go. Let's put on some clothes, and then I will worry about where the arms are going to go, because the arms are going to be very important to this. I think that'll be what makes this pose very cute. Let's start with her shirt. Okay. Like I said, we're kind of looking at her from above. So let me check. Where it kind of goes down. Looks like we got like strap sleeves. So we probably won't see too much of her sleeves. It'll just be... Oh, oops, forgot to paste the color in. Go and pick the color and then I forget to put it in so I can use it. It'll be something like that, and collar, and like she's got a coat on, so it's a little bit hard to see where exactly it goes, but from what I can tell, it's going to be something like this. Where it doesn't cover her arms at all. And then she's got that big old coat that she wears like a cape. As far as I can tell, the coat doesn't have sleeves, and then she has another is wearing another coat underneath it. Because this is Arknights, where everybody wears multiple layers of very large coats. I think this is probably a good base color. And we shall see. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be The lower coat, it's a bit hard to see, but it looks like it's closer to that of just a windbreaker, so that's what I'm going to draw. We're just gonna draw a little bit of coat over here. It's fine. It doesn't have to be anything very particular. Okay. Now before I go and draw the upper coat, I want to draw the back here. Manticore's coat. It's got this big pink area on the inside that I think looks pretty neat. So we'll just me forgetting to put color in again. We're just gonna kind of draw the back of it a little. So it's got this big old hood. And this is kind of where it's gonna go. Okay. And then on the outside, it's just fur. Just white fur. Alright, now we'll connect it. We'll bring in the hood, kind of where it connects here, and it connects to this belt going across her chest, kind of right about there. That's where we'll bring that. Just kind of goes like this. We're not too worried that things look a little bit weird still. Right now, just kind of getting where everything's going. Then I'll worry about proportions, making sure everything looks the way I want it to. And then after that, we'll make everything look nice. Not entirely sure where I'm going on this one yet, but that's okay. I'll figure it out later. For me, sometimes it helps just to get all the ideas down and then worry about it. Okay. So I think now this is where I decide where I want everything to be. So I'm gonna group everything so this way I can easily move. See, now I can pretty easily move things around and kind of adjust how big things I want, how big I wanted her to be on the screen. Do I want her to be smaller or do I want her to be bigger? Because for something like this, it might actually make sense to kind of push her a little bit further to the bottom. Make her just a touch smaller. And really get that feeling that she's looking up at you. Try to make people just really want to hug her. That's what I want to, that's kind of what I'm going for with this particular one. I still want to draw on the arms because I think that will help too. I just need to refine the head a little bit, so this way I can kind of figure out where everything's where all that's gonna go and how the arms are gonna look. Yeah, give her a nice squishy face. I'll draw in her long elf ears later. Ears aren't important at this stage, and it's just one more thing to worry about, so I'm not gonna. Just gonna get those cheeks going. Make them nice and squishy. Extra pinchable. Just gotta clean this up real quick. Okay. Alright, let's get those hands in there. We're just gonna put them on the top. Excuse me. I think I'm gonna have to use a color, so we're just gonna use neon red for now. And I will fix the colors later. Right now I'm more focused on the overall proportion and composition of the image than I am on the exact colors. Like, the main reason that the colors matter is just because they will help me, oh, that is a little bright. Let's just tone it down just a little bit. There we go. No, that's not enough. I still can't really see what I'm doing. I need a brighter color. Okay, there we go. One of the upsides to digital is that you don't have to worry about whether or not the colors are correct. You can just kind of use whatever color serves your purpose for the time being. Right now I'm just using this weird yellow color because, like, her hands are going to be skin tone. And right now it is on top of both the shadow color I have and the base color I have. And I don't want to figure out the exact colors I want to be using everywhere yet. I just kind of want to get the general idea of how her hands are going to be down. I want them in front of her mouth. Is that cute? Yeah, that's pretty cute. Let's put them there. Maybe just a little bit of frown showing. There we go. Okay. Now I can decide what I want to do for a background. I'm not actually quite sure yet, so I might think about that later today and then just do that later. For now, let's just finish up the pose here. Sometimes I draw separate layers for arms, but I think because the hands are just kind of going off the screen here, that I don't really need to. I can just do some shading over there to make the arms noticeable. So I don't have to worry too much right now. Right now I think I can just kind of go in, start refining the face a little bit. I might actually work on her pigtails a little bit, because they're not looking too great. That's to be expected. Yeah, I drew them pretty quickly just to get them down. But the way I tend to approach drawing here is first I just kind of get the general gist of what I want down, make sure I understand the pose, make sure that things, you know, are already looking pretty okay. And right now, I think they're looking all right. It kind of is doing what I want it to do. And then from there, we just kind of adjust until composition is what I want it to be, and all of that. And you'll notice that I do not have a traditional like line sketch or anything. Like my sketch is just blobs of color. And that's just how I operate. Like I don't have a sketch, I just blob the color down and then I refine the blobs until they look the way I want them to. And that works really well for me instead of just lines. Like for whatever reason, my brain just did not think in lines very well. So I just tried this and it worked so much better. So this also means that I have no line art to work on or anything like that. So I just refine these blobs until I like the way they look. Set the saturation here a little. So right now I think it's looking a little bit muddy. Oh, that might be a little bit too much. Oh, that's because I have it on overlay. Yes, set your brush back to normal. I might need to refine that color a little bit, but it's fine for now. But before I get that, I need to get this color. There we go. So I need that for the head. So we're going to put a shadow color on the head now. Just general gist. There we go. Give her a nose. Let's give her a nose. It's probably just going to be a dot, but that's okay. She can still have a nose. Alright. Hide the hands, and we're just going to refine Sad Manticore's head for a moment. And just get the head shape down. Okay, so this tends to be where I just look up some reference to make sure that I have the pose the way I like it. And the way I look at references, I tend to just go into Google Images and get a lot of different references. Like, I don't tend to just look at one image. So I think right now the most important thing is to get the tilt of the head the way I want. And the shoulders. The shoulders I think are also potentially a little bit off. So we're just gonna take a look at a few images, and it's not that off, honestly. Let me put the body into its own group here. We're gonna make it just a little bit bigger. A little bit higher. Or do I want it to be more... Hold on. Bigger, yes. Do I actually have it in roughly the right place? Let me see. Where? Because right now she's looking a little bit more slumped over than I like, and I think it's the location of the eyes. Okay, yeah, we'll fix that first. So this is where I start worrying about proportions and stuff and making sure... Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. Yeah, because I had her looking down. I guess I don't actually want her looking down. I want her looking up at you. Okay. Yeah. There we go. That's pretty cute. The head just a touch bigger. So I'm pretty bad at proportions overall, so sometimes it takes me a little while just to kind of figure out how all this is going to work. Okay. We'll clean up this a little bit. Get all cheeks and stuff in the right place. And then we'll get the hair in the right place. I tend to start with the head, just because faces are so important, and honestly, once I have something that can look at me, it becomes a lot easier to work on the rest, at least for me. So right now, things aren't perfect. Like you can see, the head is a little bit lopsided. But that's fine. This is good enough for now. I think it's showing what I wanted to show. So I'm going to work on the hair a little bit. Oh, I've already kind of determined I want her front hair separated from her pigtails. But this way I can put the front hair in front of the wings. Okay. Let's look at my Manticore reference again. So let's see, her pigtails are actually coming more out of the back of her head than the side. I'm gonna hide the head wings for now. I think I'm just gonna redraw these completely. Let me see. Let me actually use the shadow color here. I'll just... How do they floof? Let me look at her sprite again. I found that a lot of just drawing fan art is looking at the character quite a lot. just kind of come off the side there. Yeah. Definitely more like this. This is probably more accurate, but I'm not sure if it's quite as cute. So I'll have to think about that. Yeah, I think it's a little bit cuter, kind of angled up like this. Being, well, floof. Sometimes sacrifices have to be made to make something super cute. I'll try to keep it true to her original style, though. So we'll just go around. Do I want them to go behind her, maybe? That way I'm not satisfied. Yeah, I think that's pretty cute. I think that's cuter. Have them kind of go back. And make them kind of go down and look sad. Drawing a sad Manticore. Alright, I'm not sure if that's perfect yet, but I think that's good enough for now. Let's draw her front hair a little bit, because that is way off. Well, Manticore has these big long bangs in the front. They kind of cover most of her head. And then the side ones kind of moves out this way a little bit. And then the front one is longer than the rest. The one that kind of comes down here is going to be a bit longer than the rest, and it goes past her chin. It's kind of like this. And it's amazing. Stuff like just where things are in her hair and how that kind of goes is surprisingly important to making fan art recognizable as the character you're trying to draw. Because it's like, it might seem like you can just kind of draw it however you want, but I guarantee if you're not careful, it will not look like the character you're trying to draw. Where the hair like this falls is actually really important to recognizability. So we're not really going to see back of her head much there. She's looking up. And she kind of has another hair that does this and kind of crosses over. Maybe not quite that much, but general idea. Just adjust this a little bit. Right now I'm not too worried about being neat. I just want to get everything down. And just get another little hair kind of sticking out over here. Alright, now let's get rid of the excess head over here. Alright, I like this. Alright, let's draw on her ears now. They're going to be something like that. They're just peeking out a little bit. Let's give her some eye whites. Making it a little bit hard to perceive the eye properly. We'll do it on this side too. This side's not that important because I'm just gonna delete everything and duplicate it later. Okay. Let's adjust her bangs a little bit. Try to get that shape a little bit more correct. So it's going to be a little bit more in her face than usual just because she's looking up. It'll be something like this, I think. And then I'll just get those individual strands more how they actually are once it's time to kind of refine the shape of the hair. Let's go back to the head. I'm not sure if I like these shadow colors still. Let me... Sometimes they don't cooperate with me. I think right now they still just look a little bit muddy. These are a bit big. Just take the eyebrow out. Okay. There we go. Come on. Well, that was weird. Man, right now she looks more like she's dying inside than sad. We're gonna... So I think the next step is going to be to fix the expression. We're actually just going to delete the other eye. And we'll just work on this one for now. I'm going to reduce the opacity in her front hair so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we're just going to hide it entirely. See what I'm doing. Okay. And so let's make her look a little bit less tired. That's going to be hard just due to the nature of the shape of Manticore's eyes. Like, they're very, very boxy. She's probably... Lifting up this corner I think will help. Lifting up this corner will probably help a little bit too. Make her look a little bit more deadpan instead of tired. Yeah. That's a little bit better. She's still... maybe looks a little bit tired. I think I'll be able to add some energy later with eyelashes like this. Maybe a little bit of roundness to the side lash here. Just a little bit. Alright. So generally the next step for me here was going to be refining these eyelashes and then the entirety of the head itself. Get it looking the way I want. Let me bring the eyebrow down a little bit. There we go. And she looks like she did something wrong. That's what I'm going for. A pupil, that'll probably also help. Just determine where the center of the eye is. There we go. Alright. So, with that introduction and me figuring out how to talk and draw at the same time, this is probably where we're going to leave it for today. So tomorrow I should be able to start refining the face and hopefully finish that off. And hopefully in, you know, a few days we'll have a finished drawing of Manticore wanting something or feeling like she messed something up, or whatever that kind of expression and pose makes you think of. So, thanks for coming, everyone, and I hope to see you again sometime. I do hope that someday I will be able to see all of you guys' art, or any games that you've developed, or anything else that you'd like me to see. I would love to show off some art on stream. I would love to play some viewer-developed games on stream. I'd love to read some viewer writing on stream. You know, whatever you guys happen to make. I really want to see it. So, if you have stuff that you'd like to show me, feel free to just tag me directly on Twitter or DM me. Or whatever else. Twitter and Instagram are probably going to be the easiest ways to contact me, so I hope that you'll show me some stuff. I'm honestly really excited to see it. So I hope to see you all again. So bye-bye!